friends, how are you? I hope your day goes nothing short of amazing as it should go. So today we discuss none other than my Jazzy life. Sis has been on a little hiatus, and I have to be honest, maybe she should have stayed on it. With that being said, let's get right into this discussion. So, starting off, as we all know, friends, the dry begging has begun. We all know that she doesn't stay away for too long without coming back and asking for something. Let's roll the clip.
They're sitting over here. They were doing ABC Mouse, but I think they just got off.
Jazzy girl, now you know that we know that you know those babies were sitting there watching Paw Patrol. Let's be honest, you don't have to fake it. All you have to do is put the work in, and you will not have to pretend.
I plan on getting Aiden his own tablet, so we won't have to go through this. His tablet will not hold a charge, and it drives me crazy. His tablet, if I buy him one, it's about $100, so I might have to make that purchase, y'all.
Well, friends, let the dry begging begin. First, it was, oh, I hate buying chargers, especially this charger, aka, hey, supporters, buy this charger for my children, even though it's my job. Now it's, oh, I might have to spend $100 on this tablet. You think? That's your son, no one else's. Why don't you give those children a book for a change, and you wouldn't have to worry about replacing tablets and or chargers? It's really the dry begging for me, sis. It is so obvious. After all of the clicks and views we've gotten you, you're still begging. You have to do better.
Last week of school, I'm so excited.
It was the acting for me, sis. Jazz, there is absolutely nothing wrong with saying I am extremely overwhelmed and I'm pissed that school is out. I mean, you're a mom. Moms need breaks, right? I know you feel the pressure to not be as transparent anymore because of all the scrutiny, but you put that on yourself. But honestly, the acting, it's a no for me, sis. Okay, friends, so Jazz finally decided to take the kids to their PCP to inquire about their developmental issues and to figure out whether she thinks they are on the spectrum or not. And let me just say, I legit was embarrassed for her. Let's just roll the clips.
Question: do you think that Aiden or Ava is autistic or anything?
Now, honestly, the way she asked the question with the eye roll and how nonchalant she was shows that she isn't the greatest advocate for her children as she should be. Because, come on, you're asking her what she thinks, as you should, but you should have approached it as if you had some concerns. Because, honestly, you should have some concerns. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the twins are developmentally delayed. Come on.
Well, I have to go through and see how they are today
Okay.
before I can answer that.
This is their primary care physician, and her response is, I have to see how they are today, which leads me to believe that Jazz has never communicated with their doctor about their developmental issues, and that is pure negligence, which is indicative for her only doing it for the sake of the video and to get people to shut up about the twins.
Kids have different personalities, and so, and I think, some of the time it takes some kids a little bit longer to get further along.
This woman has two older children. One is 8 years old, if I'm not mistaken. She knows this already. The fact that she's sitting there acting oblivious as if she doesn't is extremely irritating. And the doctor is coming from a neurotypical standpoint. She's talking about children who are neurotypical. It's not about them adjusting or being late learners. There is something developmentally wrong. It is so clear. And this is why it's important to be attentive to your children and be their biggest advocate, because the doctor can only go based off of observation. She doesn't live in your home. She doesn't see what's really going on. So now is the time that you would want to speak up. so they can be assessed properly. I understand that having children with special needs can be a really hard pill to swallow initially, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's not about pleasing other people, it's not about being embarrassed, it's about your children and their well being. And the time is now. Early intervention is so vital for the rest of their lives. I'm getting the vibes that she's still in denial and only doing this to shut people up, as I said earlier. But I hope she does continue to follow through and start advocating more for them and being more transparent with the physician and the specialist, because if not, it can be very detrimental to their development, because she's the type of mother that wants everyone else to do the work. Honestly, Jazz is lazy. We all know this. But Jazz, I am going to say to you, you have to start putting in the work. Yes, the specialists, this is their area of expertise, but remember, they don't live with your children. They're only going to be seeing them for a few hours, a few times a week. You're with your children 24/7. So honestly, you are going to become the specialist and you have to do the work. That is why now, in the beginning of the process, it's best to be as transparent as possible so they can get the proper therapy that they need.
Their development, and so it may be as simple as that.
Coming from a professional standpoint, I'm not too sure about this physician. She says, oh, it could be as simple as that. It can be as simple as that. But if she's been treating these children consistently, then she should have been the one to refer you to a specialist, because they haven't really met any developmental milestones that they should have. So that's very alarming. And honestly, Jazz, there's nothing wrong with being an advocate for your children, as I said, and saying, you know what, this physician isn't working out, because some of these physicians, believe it or not, they are there for the check and that is it. They will charge your insurance and tell you that the sky is green just to get paid. Food for thought. This is why it's very important to get second opinions. If you see that there's an issue and the doctor's telling you, no, they're fine, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You have to speak up for your children.
And, I know Aiden has like an attitude problem, if anything, and he throws fits. And sometimes he's like, if he'll seem shy, like he come off shy sometimes too.
Jazz, this has to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard you say here on this platform. What do you mean he has an attitude problem? He doesn't have an attitude problem. He has behavioral issues. What are you talking about? He's shy? He isn't shy. He's introverted. I don't understand how you're college educated, but you can't articulate yourself, especially when it comes to your children. He's not shy. He's introverted because he's having trouble understanding what's going on around him. He becomes oversensitized. That's the issue. You really have to do your research.
Yeah.
And I am a vlogger, so he just sometimes he wants to be on camera, but sometimes he's like,
Bish, what? I'm a vlogger. Okay, sis, we all know you're a vlogger and you're proud of yourself. Congratulations. But the physician isn't interested in your vlogging. She's interested in the well-being of your children. Let's stay on track here, sis. And Aiden has an attitude. He doesn't like being on camera. He couldn't care any less about you putting him on camera. That is not the problem. And he doesn't have an attitude. He has meltdowns, not even tantrums. He goes into full on meltdown mode because he becomes overstimulated easily. How hard is it to understand? Like, how am I observing all of these things, but you aren't? I don't understand. He covers his ears, meaning he has sound sensitivity. When there's a lot going on, you can see him becoming overstimulated, oversensitized, and then that's when he goes into meltdown mode. Tell this lady what is actually going on, and why are you failing to mention Ava's issues? Ava barks all day. I mean, she says a couple of words, but she still hasn't met the milestones that she should have at this age. Neither one of them. You have to be able to articulate yourself when you are advocating for your children. There is nothing wrong with being ignorant. Not stupid, but ignorant, meaning lack of knowledge, right? So get yourself on the internet as you like doing and do your research for your children.
I feel like whenever I try to teach him stuff, he'll try, but you know, he comes off like he's shy, like really shy. Like he doesn't want to mess up.
Here we go again. You're not being honest. You're not being transparent. He is not shy. Honestly, if you kept me locked away in a room and shoved a tablet in my face to keep me quiet, I would be confused as well. That's the issue. He isn't shy. He doesn't know what the hell you're talking about because you've never stimulated these children. And now this is the outcome. This is why people were telling you what you needed to do when it came to those twins, which we shouldn't have had to because you were already a mother of two, but that's another story. Tell this lady what really is going on. I know she's like, what do you mean he's shy? He doesn't want to mess up. He doesn't know what's going on. Let's be honest. And I say that in the most respectful way possible. It's not his fault, it's yours.
Does he like playing with other children?
Yes.
I cannot take baby girl right now, just in her own little world, talking up a storm. Too cute. But Jazz, here we go again with the lying. He doesn't seem to enjoy playing with the other children. Let's be honest here. Every time they bother him, he seems to become very irritable and just wants his own space. He's always off to the side in his own little world, which is completely okay. But you have to communicate this with the physician so she can properly assess.
Does he use any kind of electronic products in bed at night?
Not at night, but during the day, yeah, he gets on a tablet.
Here we go, yet again, another lie. This little boy is on the tablet day and night. Stop lying to this physician. She isn't there to judge you as a mother. She is only there to properly assess and care for your children. Please try to be honest next time. If he wasn't on the tablet at nighttime, then why would you have to drag a TV into the room during bedtime because he refused to go to bed without any kind of electronics? To give you an analogy, this is like an obese person going to a nutritionist and telling the nutritionist that they eat kale every day, but they're 365 pounds. It doesn't make sense. They are not there to judge you.
Do you think he spends more than 2 hours
On the tablet? Yeah.
See, Jazz, that nervous laugh and the look in your eyes is indicative to the embarrassment you must feel having to confirm to their doctor that they have too much watch time on the tablet, and that is your fault, honestly. All you have to do is put your foot down, stop being lazy, and stop trying to just occupy them with electronics and actually do your job as a mother.
Like he gets upset whenever the tablet, it makes me feel like he has just maybe anger problems whenever the tablet dies.
He gets upset when the tablet dies because it is a part of his routine. He has religious behavior because the only thing you've done was stick a tablet in his hand and allow him to be on it hours and hours, and also teach him how to say hi, guys. You've never really stimulated your children, so this is the result.
So you don't think he's on the spectrum at all?
I don't think he is. Now, I can send him to see the neurologist that can do a more extensive test.
Okay.
The embarrassment that her family feels when it comes to autism is honestly very irritating to me, and it shows with her sister, to be honest. That is all I am going to say on that. But Jazz, stop looking at the camera. Stop worrying about proving something to YouTube. She's just fiending to say, oh, I told y'all he's not autistic. Jazz, newsflash, whether he has that label or not, which is still to be determined, he is still developmentally delayed. Okay, it isn't going to make it any easier if he isn't on the spectrum. He still has developmental delays, and that is something you are going to have to face whether you like it or not. And another thing I want to add, how ignorant this family is when it comes to autism and how uneducated they seem on the topic speaks volumes about the involvement that they have with her sister. And that's a fact. It seems to me as if the apple didn't fall far from the tree, which I've already suspected, and Jazz is making the same mistakes that her mom probably made.
They might be able to recommend some things we can do to kind of get a little bit more advanced.
It's like, I don't know if he needs that or a behavioral therapist maybe. I don't know. He gets upset.
Yeah.
See, Jazz, now we're getting somewhere. He absolutely needs ABA, and I can tell you that he definitely needs to see a behavioral specialist.
Now, has he done any speech therapy?
No, he hasn't.
Okay.
They only did.
That's another thing that we should consider.
Okay.
I cannot understand for the life of me as a mother how she never inquired about getting any of the children's speech therapy, because with all due respect, every single one of her children need to see a speech therapist.
And we probably should get his hearing checked.
Okay.
Okay, doctor, now we're getting somewhere because hearing plays a major role in speech, because if you can't hear, how are you going to comprehend anything in order to learn how to repeat, right? And there could be fluid in the ears or anything. So I'm glad she mentioned that. I hope that works out. And by the way, audio issues along with speech is very common with children on the spectrum. But Jazz, even if he goes to an audiologist and they determine that there isn't any fluid in the ears, there isn't anything wrong with the ears, that does not mean he is in the clear and not on the spectrum. I'm just saying. So Jazz, with all of this being said, there is absolutely nothing wrong with doing your research so you can better advocate for your children, because I'm going to be honest with you, you embarrassed yourself at this appointment, but that's okay because right now you're ignorant. There is nothing wrong with saying, I don't know, and learning as long as you take the initiative. And I commend you, honestly, for taking the initiative and speaking about it, because I know it's something very hard and you shouldn't have to be forced to speak on something as serious as an autism diagnosis. I do understand that. But what I will say is that you have to be more attentive to the well-being of your children. It is so important. Nobody is going to advocate for these children the way their mother is, and that is a fact. But again, I commend you for being courageous and uploading it and sharing it. It may be to save face, it may be for the vlog, but nonetheless, you still took them and inquired about their development. So kudos to you. I have to give credit where credit is due. And I just want to say there's nothing embarrassing about having a child or children on the spectrum. They are amazing. They are bright. They are beautiful people. Trust me when I tell you, and you should already know this given the fact that your sister is autistic, right? So anyway, guys, I just want to say to all of the parents of autism, the moms and the dads and the aunts and the cousins, and all of these people's support systems, I want to say that you're amazing. You're a superhero. Keep doing what you're doing. All of the teachers, all of the therapists, anyone who plays a role and helping people on the spectrum, you are amazing and you are really God sent. With that being said, friends, light it up blue in these comments. You already know the vibes. Like what you like, comment and subscribe if you aren't already, and I will talk to you down below and in the next video.